Mark was a civil engineer living in the heart of the city, his days filled with blueprints, concrete, and towering skyscrapers. He was respected in his field, earning a steady salary and managing large projects that shaped the skyline. But something was missing. As the years went by, the joy he once found in his work faded into routine. Each new building felt like the last, empty and uninspiring. The city's pulse, once exciting, now felt suffocating. Every weekend, Mark would escape to the countryside to clear his mind. There, amidst rolling hills and open skies, a different dream began to take shape. He imagined himself building not towers, but a life connected to the earth, a farm where he could grow his own food and work with his hands in a way that felt real. It was a wild dream, one that seemed impossible for a man who had spent his whole life building structures, not crops. One evening, while sitting in his cluttered city apartment, Mark came across a quote from Jeff Bezos that stopped him in his tracks. If you decide that you're only going to do the things you know are going to work, you're going to leave a lot of opportunity on the table. The words echoed in his mind. He realized he had been living a safe, predictable life, following the path that society had laid out for him. But what if safety was holding him back? What if the real opportunity was in the unknown? The next morning, Mark made a decision that shocked everyone around him. He resigned from his well-paying job, sold his apartment, and bought a dilapidated piece of land in the countryside. His friends thought he was crazy. "You're an engineer, not a farmer," they said. "What do you know about growing crops?" The truth was, Mark didn't know much, but he knew how to build, and he was determined to learn. With no farming experience, he dove in headfirst, transforming the rundown land with the same precision he once used to build skyscrapers. He constructed a small, sustainable home, laid out irrigation systems, and designed barns and greenhouses. The first months were grueling. The soil was tough, the weather unpredictable, and the learning curve steep. His crops failed more often than they succeeded, and there were many nights when doubt crept in. But Mark refused to give up. He studied organic farming methods, learned from local farmers, and applied his engineering skills to make the farm more efficient. Slowly, things began to change. The soil, once barren, started to yield fresh vegetables. The farm began to thrive, and with it, so did Mark. One day, while working in the fields, a visitor arrived, a journalist from a sustainable living magazine who had heard about his unique journey. The article they wrote about him went viral. Soon, people were visiting his farm, not just to buy produce, but to learn about his methods. His farm became a model for sustainable agriculture, and Mark found himself at the center of a movement he never expected. Years later, as he walked through the rows of crops he had planted with his own hands, Mark reflected on the life he had left behind. If he had stayed in the city, sticking to what he knew, he would have built more buildings, but none of them would have given him the sense of purpose and fulfillment he now felt. The farm had become more than a place to grow food. It was a testament to the power of risk, passion, and following a dream. Mark smiled as he thought of Bezos' words again. If you decide that you're only going to do the things you know are going to work, you're going to leave a lot of opportunity on the table. He had taken a chance on something uncertain, and in doing so, he had found not only success but a life full of meaning, far beyond the limits of the city skyline.